So, this is Almo's take. Almo, the balance game designer or something, right? Who left or whatever. And had some very weird viewpoints, or very different viewpoints, I guess you could say, nicely. The one that I remember is obviously on the game map, which is a map full of god palettes, talking about the doctor having bad game design. Or pig or whatever it were, I can't remember. Anyway, let's see. Let's see if he does have any like points here. I have a feeling it's just going to be kind of hindsight stuff, which is just obvious because, you know, you can just use... Anyway, let's just see. Disclaimer, after 6 fun years of working on DBD with an amazing team, I've moved to another studio to work on something new. These opinions are mine and not those of Behavior Interactive. First, it's extremely hard to set up an asymmetrical game of any kind that works. From a game design perspective, you're not able to assume that any rule fair to one side is fair to the other. Worst, asymmetrical horror games tend to put multiple players against one. Well, I mean, it don't need to be a horror game though, does it? It's asymmetrical. Asymmetrical, the whole point of it is it's an asymmetrical number. That's a weird sentence, in my opinion. It makes no sense. That doesn't need to be in the sentence. I'm gonna be like super critical. Sorry, I'm gonna read this shit. There are a whole host of reasons this is difficult to get right, but that's a huge topic, better left to another discussion. Okay. With regard to games that set out to compete with DBD, they often start by saying we're going to fix X, which is a deep problem with DBD. Do they? Why not learn from competition, right? Well, sometimes it then turns out that X is something that makes DBD work. Such as? I don't know VHS, so maybe there's something in this. I was a VHS early adopter and a super fan. Large DLC purchase. I'll use this one example. Much of the discussion of how this game works comes from my 110 hours spent with the game, as well as discussions with my Twitch audience. So, are you gonna mention this thing though, saying that we're gonna fix X, which is a deep problem with DBD, and then it turns out X is something that makes DBD work? Is he going on to that? Okay, maybe he is actually. So VHS failed in large part because the monster couldn't tunnel or camp. Is that true? I ain't played VHS, but I don't believe that would be true. It seems clear to me from the design that they looked at DBD and figured that the biggest thing its players hate is tunneling and camping, so they eliminated those tactics. Is that why it failed? Because you couldn't tunnel and camp, guys? I can't say. I didn't play it, so I can't really give a take on that. I did not play VHS. It doesn't sound right though. Does not sound right at all. You don't like VHS because you can't tunnel and camp. Whenever you played VHS, you just bullied the killer. That doesn't sound like tunnel and camping though. The monster had no real power in that game. Again, doesn't. Failed because the survivors were worse than the survivors on DVD. No one wanted to play killer. Oh, they were really toxic. You fleshed out more as you continue. Yeah, I just want to know though. I didn't play VHS, so this didn't work on me. I don't know how it was. It doesn't sound right though. This sounds like he's going to try and confirmation bias. So he said VHS failed in large. Like he's saying it's like one of the biggest reasons. Like there's massive reasons, and this is one of them. Because they couldn't tunnel and camp. So let's see. So they eliminated those tactics, but that meant the monster ended up fighting 4 teams most of the match, and there was no way to deal with a particularly difficult team. You'd finally kill one, and they'd get the Book of the Dead, and you're at 4 again. What's this to do with tunneling camping? Okay. It was miserable to play Monster, so few did. I'm a DVD killer man, and I even gave up playing Monster because it was so miserable to play. I'd rather wait in a 15-minute teen queue and play something else in the meantime than deal with that. It's harder to tunnel is what you get from it. You get him talking about someone resurrecting when you've killed them as harder to tunnel. So what I get from this, like what I would say, where is it? So you'd finally kill one, they get the Book of the Dead, and then you're back at 4 again. So it looks like this is the issue. It's nothing to do with tunneling camping. It's just too easy to come back, or it's too quick to come back or something. So that looks like the issue. Harder to tunnel and camp a player out of a match 4v1 for longer stretches. I don't know, it just sounds confirmation bias. This does not sound like tunnel camp. This sounds like a whole different issue. This sounds like them getting back into the game too easily. The killer maybe, like, just top of my head, I didn't play this game. When you kill a survivor, you become stronger as killer. There you go. There you go. Now when you kill one, it actually benefits you. You kill a survivor, the survivor's objective gets regressed massively. You kill a survivor, the survivor becomes much weaker. You kill a survivor, the whole team becomes weaker. I don't know, just this does not seem like a tunnel camp thing. But let's see. I don't know. I didn't play this game, so it is a bit harder. The difficulty in killing one team early also made it 25-minute matches feel very samey the whole way. DVD matches have phases. 4 survivors, 3 survivors. Do we finish the gens or hatch jockey hatch hunt? That results in large shifts in playstyle over the course of one match. There are issues with some of these stages, but they are present. Adds variety to each match. So, could you not kill survivors in VHS? This is hard for me to understand because I didn't play VHS. It doesn't make sense. So it's saying in DVD matches, you have 4 survivors and then 3 survivors. In VHS, did you not have 4 survivors, then 3 survivors? And what's he on about? Oh, and then is he talking about when there's 1 person left? Apparently you could res. Takes too long to kill all 4 before the resurrecting. So it doesn't sound like tunnel camp, does it? It sounds like the resurrection design was incorrect. Because what happens if they just had it where when you kill a team, then they're dead and they can't resurrect? Then what? I don't know. I didn't play a VHS, so. That results in large shifts. These are the issues of some of these stages, but they are present. But that they are present adds variety to each match. There was also the ping system. Another response to DBD is perceived to be lacking. It hurt the atmosphere and made it much more gamey. Also, I meant teens had much easier time learning to coordinate against the monster. But this is what you're doing in DBD. You are doing this. I've said this is incorrect. I agree. You shouldn't do this. It should be more atmospheric and all what's going on. It's way more interesting. You are starting to do this in DBD. And what do you think about like Swift as well? Like this is literally what Swift is. But they are starting to do this in DBD. They want Solo to be like Swift. I don't know. I don't get that either. Like they are literally doing that in DBD. This isn't the reason why DBD is successful. I'll tell you my take why I think it is at the end if he hasn't said it. Then there were the journeys. These were a set of challenges for players to do to earn stuff. Nice in principle, but some of these encourage very bad behavior on part of the teens. Imagine if you're losing as monster. The teens have one more sigil of the 4 to take to win. Instead, they keep chain stutter. they keep chain stunning you with the other attack types in order to fill their journey requirements. They're encouraged not to win, but to bully the monster for unlocks. We call for the players to just behave in the ways the system encourages. No. No. Like, let's see here. Again, I'm having to like kind of guess what the fuck he's talking about because I don't know VHS. Where is it? There. So they have one more sigil of the 4 to take to win. So that's like, you know, a journey they need. This constant chain stunning is a design flaw. You shouldn't be able to consistently chain stun. So you fix this so they can't consistently chain stun. It's nothing to do with the journeys. How's this to do with the journeys? That's not the issue. This reminds me of DBD a bit, where there's a actual issue. Like, you know, there's a tap what's on and water keeps coming. And instead of fixing the tap, they put a bucket underneath. Like, you're looking at the wrong part of the issue. The issue isn't the journeys. The issue is the chain stunning. No? Make it so you can't chain stun. I mean, I'm not surprised I'm seeing this, like, obliviousness to the actual problem and thinking it's this. Because there's lots of that in DVD. But part of the issue stems from another thing they wanted to fix on DVD. We want more interaction between the killer and survivor, and we'd like to be able to hinder the killer more than we can in DVD. One of the reasons DVD works is that survivors try to do gens to open gates, and the killer tries to stop them. It's never about stopping the killer, but delaying them until you can get the gates open and escape. In VHS, the teens want to kill the monster, and the monster wants to kill the teens. I would argue the goal structure being set up like this means DVD can give the most important thing to players, a sense of an unstoppable killer. When I boot the game as killer, I don't want to be afraid there might be a survival like around the corner with a weapon. You mean flashback? You mean head on? You mean pallet saves? Want to go in and watch them scatter like rabbits when I come near. I feel like you're playing at low level DBD and you don't get the you don't get what it feels like. So what it's looking like is on VHS, he actually has to go against coordinated good players. And on DVD, he probably has like a dev MMR where they're not actually having to go against good players. Because what are you on about? Where they all scatter around. Have you not gone against a good team? They do exactly this. This chain stunning stuff. Like, there's YouTube videos of it. How are you not seeing similarities between this and this? Strange. The balanced dev of DBD who left. Very strange. Different perspective completely. This brings what's, but I do agree you shouldn't design a game where survivors can continually bully the killer. But I think all asymmetricals have done this, right? They've had it on Texas Chainsaw, apparently on VHS. They have it on DVD. They literally just go on YouTube and put bullying a killer. You'll probably see it. They've probably had it on everything, right? If you give them tools which is going to allow you to somehow hinder the killer, they're going to be able to use it in ways which, you know, exaggerate it. They make it stronger, right? With different synergies of more people using it because it's built with one person, so one head-on. But then what about a head-on into a flashbang? But then what about a head-on into a flashbang into another person going into a head-on into a flashbang? But then what about DS after it? Like, you know, you can chain it. So literally what you're talking about here with chain stunning, you have that in DBD. You have a head-on into a flashbang into a DS. They're chaining all the tools you're giving them. You have that in DBD. This is not the reason DBD is successful and these aren't. Maybe they did it worse. Maybe they made it way worse with how much you can stun, etc., etc. I don't know. But you have that in DBD. It's very surreal that you don't understand this when you're a balanced designer or were a balanced designer. This brings up what's called ludonarrative dissonance. When you see VHS or DVD advertised, you're being sold an 80s movie monster runs around murdering civilians. when you get when you get in DVD is largely that. Oh, sorry, what you get in DVD is largely that. In VHS, it's considerably harder to kill individual teens, and so you're not getting what you're sold. You may have a difficult time actually completing kills in DVD, as it's difficult to learn to play, but that's a total different feeling than what you get in VHS, where so many systems and rules are set to make it systematically difficult to kill a teen. You're doing this in DVD again, though. This is so weird. This feels so detached. Like, I get it. Maybe in VHS it's even worse. But everything you're talking about is like in DVD. You are making it very difficult to kill survivors. You've got borrowed time at base into the 10% speed up. You need to hook them 3 times to kill them, not just 1. You've got like really safe pallets. You've got multiple survivors who can save them in multiple different ways. It's not easy to kill one. And this is the real reason, yeah. Yeah, this is literally it. Like, what? This is what we're going to say. This is why DVD is successful. It's easy to give reasons like DVD has licenses. It has more content. It's already established. But yes, that's massive. That's absolutely massive, yeah. As reasons for competitors' failures. No, it's not competitors' failures. It's DVD's success. Like, this is DVD's success. This is nothing to do with their failures. The competitors' failures is because they don't have the licenses, or they only have a strict one. They don't have as much content, and they are not established yet. You see, this isn't the DVD having this doesn't mean they failed. Them not having this means they failed, as well as obviously some other stuff. Or that they didn't market it right. Yes, marketing is super important. Super important. Or their early access wasn't done well. Again, yes, this can cause something. Why are you doing these in quotes as if these are really bad bad opinions? VHS shipped with 3 monsters, 6 teens, and 3 maps. Very small, yes. Over the course of 1 year early access, they released 2 monsters. Oof. Way too little. Way too little. 1 teen and 2 maps. They tweaked a lot of things and listened to player feedback. It was very impressive for such a small team. It probably were, but it's way too little. Fortnite has made people and this is another thing. DVD was before Fortnite. Fortnite has changed how kind of what are they called, these kind of games? What are these games called where they carry on? Like live action, live feature, live service. Fortnite's kind of changed how live service games are. Before Fortnite, you probably could be a lot more kind of relaxed with stuff, but after Fortnite, people are like, we want like battle passes every single month. We want new content every single month. So what is this? So even though this is impressive to say it's a really small team, which it probably is, it's 3 monsters. You've got 3 new killers over the space of a year. So what is that? That's 1 monster every 4 months for a new game. And how many maps? 3? 2 map. 1 map every 6 months. A monster every 4 months and 1 map every 6 months on a whole new game that only starts with 3 maps. Like, how's that going to survive? That fucks everything. The new content thing. This is the biggest thing. The new content. I think it fucks a lot of games, man. But anyway, in my experience as someone who was on the DVD team for 6 years and having played VHS and Evil Dead quite a lot. Oh, you didn't mention Evil Dead, by the way. Evil Dead had, I think, 1 new map in 2 years. Right? I'm pretty sure it was 1 new map in 2 years. Interestingly, you didn't mention Evil Dead. I thought Evil Dead's design were actually quite well done, but it had no content. But I guess that goes against your... Oh, it just has raw content. Goes against that, maybe. Evil Dead had massive potential. And Evil Dead quite a lot is that these competitors just aren't as much fun. I think it's the content. If Evil Dead had was producing loads and loads of content, loads of new maps, I don't know, like Evil Dead had a lot of potential. I think some of the maps should have been a bit smaller though. Like it or not, despite its flaws, DBD is a brilliant game that's just fun to play, and the competitors have to beat that part to survive. Focus on DBD's flaws and fixing those first is the wrong way to go about it. So he genuinely thinks, this is almost a bit egotistical, he genuinely thinks these developers, these other companies, the reason they're failing is because they're trying to fix DBD's flaws. Oof. They will be partly looking at, you know, negatives to DBD and trying to think of how to make that more fun. 100%, right? That's kind of how everything works. You work off things and you evolve, etc. But that's not why they're failing, man. In my opinion, that's not why they're failing. They're failing because of what I said. They're failing because of these quoted things you said. Where you're talking as if it's stupid. Preposterous. They failed because they didn't have licenses to bring people in from other games that they enjoyed, which would grow the viewer, the player base. Sorry, preposterous. It had more content. What, people want loads of content? No, that wouldn't have helped it. It's already established. What, already established brands with big player bases, almost cult-like following, like DBD. That helps it keep established and keep growing. Preposterous. Like, what are you on about? These are really, really obvious things, which is one, like, these are the reasons. But no, your reason is they're trying to. What was it? They're trying to fix DBD's flaws, and because they're trying to fix DBD's flaws, they're failing. Right. Even though these flaws, what you say that they're doing, is in DBD, like the fixes or whatever. Like, actually, what fixes did he talk about? Now that I think about it, the tunnel camping. Because he was just talking about flaws they had, right? He said they were chain stunning. I'm never happy with my fellow game developers. Slave away on a game for years. VHS was in the works for 5 years, then fail and lose their jobs, of course. They worked hard, they cared about the game, and it's clear they put everything they had into it. The studio behind VHS, unfortunately, appears to be gone now, and that's a shame. I mean, a bit of jab at them, though. In my opinion, it's a bit of a jab there. Focus on DBD flaws and fixing those first is the wrong way to go about it. Because who's he talking to there? He's talking to the developers of other asymmetricals, no? He didn't mention hooks the entire time. He didn't fucking talk about tunneling or camping, which I knew he wouldn't. Like, he mentioned some flaws in VHS, which, yes, like, stunning them, like chain stunning them. That sounds tedious. It's tedious in DBD when it happens. I guess it's more tedious here, right? It could be. But he's acting like this doesn't happen in DBD and stuff. It's weird. Everything he mentioned here, from what I remember at least, this was nothing to do with why DBD is successful. It's this. This is it. It's got way more content. It's got loads of licenses. It's already established. It's got a cool following. That's why it's successful, right? We'd have to create another like alternate universe where another asymmetrical would before DBD, and DBD just starts now with where it started back then, with how it were, and see if it would have got to where it got to. But what about at launch by comparison? Wasn't DBD lucky when it launched or something? I don't know. I'd have to look back. He tells about Evil Dead in the comment 2, linked above. What? Would you say you play for any of those reasons personally? DVD is licensed more content. It's the content for me. As I say to you, whenever you guys say to me, which killer do you like the most? I say, I like playing all of them. because I can just play loads of killers. It's loads and loads and loads of content. That's why I like it. It's like every single game I play, pretty much, unless you require me, you do build requests for the same killer. I'm playing a new way to play. Do you get what I mean? Like I'm using new ability. Even though I don't really change the perks because the meta of this game is super stagnant. But it doesn't matter because it's got so much content. Every single map of DBD, even if DBD had 3 maps, it has more content in them maps than every single asymmetrical. Well, maybe not every, but like, Texas Chainsaw, Evil Dead, let's just say them two, because I don't know VHS, because it has random generation. It's got the maps are randomly generated. So even if it had just 3 maps, it still would have more content in just the maps. It's content. Content makes DBD work. It has so much content. If you looked at how much content DBD had, and you looked at like, you mathematically worked it out with the RNG of every map, all the perks, even though they are quite stagnant, you still can use some others, right? All the killers. I bet the number's fucking insane. I bet it's insane. It's the content. The licenses have allowed people from other licenses, you know what they're like Resident Evil, they've allowed them to come to play the game with them people. So that's brought people. The content is the biggest thing, in my opinion, and it's already established, the cult following. So yeah, like I don't know why he's putting these as if these are stupid reasons, and then he's saying such a fucking stupid reason after it. Like that's like some eureka moment where it's like, guys, I actually know the truth. It isn't that it has licenses, more content, and is already established. It's because it's trying to fix DBD's flaws. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because fixing DBD's flaws correctly definitely wouldn't be a good thing with loads of content. I don't agree, but that's fine. It's good that he's got his own opinion. I appreciate him having his own opinion. I can see why he's was the balanced dev for DBD. Definitely doesn't. He doesn't say the taps are running. He just puts a bucket underneath. But there you go. You got a big react there, guys. I'm almost losing my voice, kind of feel like. Check the links. Evil Dead, our court response from them. What? One sec. That led me to the same thing, unless it didn't copy. Yeah, that's leading me to the same thing. What should I call this? Almost taken why? Yeah, I guess I could do that, actually. There you go. Reacting to almost taken why so many multiplayer strategical games fail. Yeah. Coming on Evil Dead. Well, where am I going for this? Yeah, I mean, let's see. So this is people replying. Is that what you mean? It's funny because Evil Dead is a much better designed game than DVD. It only failed because no support. Yep, and content. Content was the big one. Disagree. The fundamental problem with Evil Dead, the leveling up gives you a core boost to things like health, damage, etc. Therefore, experienced players just yep, there is a bit of that too. Nothing to do with hooking and. Oh, that's why I didn't mention Evil Dead, because it's nothing to do with tunnel and camping, and that was his whole point. It would have sounded like an idiot, right, if he said Evil Dead. It's because it's Epic. Yep, that's not ideal. Any platform. Yeah, that's true. It started on Epic. That would have hurt it. Same with like when they start with Discord. Some games start with Discord. It really hurt them. I think last year the Nightmare did that. Oh, the seems great way to kill your game. Yep, it is. Agree. So these, yeah, I agree with these. Just quickly skimming, I can see. There's Almo again. I don't really agree. I played this. It likes something on killer side. Since interactions with the survivors were so indirect, I can't say it felt that good to kill them. But this is subjective. I thought it was super fun killing them with the demon. I didn't think it was terrible, and I logged maybe 25 hours on it. Not many. Which honestly is pretty decent. Certainly worth the price I paid for it. Well, there you go. And I think the studio did well financially on it, okay? But it did not have staying power. Yeah, it had no content. One thing that annoyed me about it was the overuse of voice lines. Content. That's content. You could hear the same one 3 times a match. You play 4 matches, and holy shit, was tiring. DVD's audio team is very careful about this, such as that I never got tired, or the voice lines that have gone into it. He's going to be super biased, and he's going to keep saying that DVD is the best one. Like, what am I looking for here? I admit I never got tired of hearing it wasn't programmed to harm the crew. Find it very interesting on DVDs, very careful. Voice lines get annoying. I'll say the only one that I ever found annoying is Laura's. Oh, yeah. Haha, I didn't do any killers beyond design, beyond reworking and updating existing ones. I know Unknown's designer, and he'd love to know you like it. Weren't he being sarcastic? I feel like this guy's being sarcastic saying this. But yeah, it enjoyed. Most characters don't speak. I don't know what he's fucking on about, dude. I mean, did you not read this? You don't know what he's on about. He never did. Like, there'll be some things he says, but like, he's very confident in what he says. I respect that. But like, you're talking about hooks and camping, and then you talk about nothing to do with it, and then there's Evil Dead, what has nothing to do with that either. But then you talk about you didn't like killing on Evil Dead because it was indirect. But I don't even know what he means by that, because did you know how to play it? You could control the zombies, and you could also control the demon. I wonder if you knew that. Do you think he was just flying around planting zombies? I think he were. I think he were. He might have been flying around planting zombies. I'm not sure. Anyway, there you go. You could even control the survivors. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's indirect about that, but there you go.
You get to get more time.
Cool. There's a little react